I spent a week in a $10 million mansion and I was freaking miserable. Now, hear me out here, okay? I wasn't totally miserable, but it taught me a couple really important things and in lessons in life, I think. And one is that you can have virtually everything you could possibly dream of and be totally miserable. So you can have the $10 million mansion, the Lambos, the crazy, experiences like traveling and, dating an Instagram model or whatever it is. And you can still be totally miserable and hate your life. And so I learned this spending this time in this mansion, hanging out with a lot of very high net worth individuals who are making tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. And the crazy thing I found was that a lot of these guys were totally fucking miserable. Like they hated their lives. They were every day they're just like bitching and moaning about this and that. And it's like, being a small fry, I was kind of like, ooh, like, cry me a river, right? But the reality is, this affects everybody, right? Like we think that when we have all this external stuff, whether it's an accomplishment or whether it's a new car or a new house or a new job, that we're going to be like, oh man, we made it. Like we're so happy now. Like we've arrived. But the reality is that doesn't really happen. And so it made me realize that is you can have virtually everything and be totally miserable because a lot of these guys were. And two is how you communicate with yourself and how you talk to yourself dictates the quality of your life. So you really got to like snap out of those negative stories that you're telling yourself as quickly as possible so you can enjoy the moment, enjoy your life. And I'm totally guilty of this as well. So, over the past year, for example, our business slowed a little bit. I was used to growing, 30, 40% a year, which is crazy growth. And it slowed down to, around 20% this year. And so I had this like negative story where I was telling myself like, man, you just aren't growing fast enough. You need to grow faster like you were before. And I was beating myself up about it. And I wasn't enjoying my life like day to day because I was just in this like negative headspace. And so I started working with this coach and counselor person that really helped me snap out of this by like asking yourself some really, good questions because it can be very hard to know you're even doing this, right? It's very like deep down, often from like our childhood or something else. And so, what she did is she said like, Roshan, why don't you ask yourself this question? Like, is this even true? Like, so the thing that I was thinking was like, I'm not growing fast enough. Therefore, I suck or I'm not doing good enough. You can even go as far as saying like, I'm a loser or whatever. And it's really not a good way to go about life. And so you want to ask yourself these questions like, is it even true? Can I be absolutely certain that this is true, that I'm not growing fast enough? And if you reframe it as something like, well, now that I'm not growing as fast enough, I can focus on building a better business, or I can spend more time with my kids, or just reframing it in a way that is positive, that you can enjoy your life. And so I think it's really important for everybody to realize this, that, the stories that we tell ourselves, how we communicate with ourselves really dictates the quality of our life. And it's important to ask yourself these questions on a regular basis to snap out of these negative stories. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. Please do click subscribe if it was, and share this video with anybody else you think might benefit from it. Thank you.